channel. My name is Javan Benjamin. I'm currently in the United States Air Force Delayed Entry Program, and today I will be speaking to you guys about my Meps experience. Guys, forgive me if I'm looking down in the video. It's a lot of information that I have to put out there. My Meps visit it was back in April, so I had to put down notes just to share with you guys, so please bear with me. So Meps, Military Entrance Processing Station, and there's 3 parts to Meps. You have where you go do your ASVAB, you take your medical, and you do your physical. But before you go to Meps to do all of those good stuff, you first have to sit down with your recruiter to fill out a pre-screening form. And it's basically to check to see if there is anything that would disqualify you from Meps. You don't want to be disqualified, but at the same time, you want to be honest. You don't want to get disqualified. So I suggest you keep it 100 with your recruiter. Tell him everything, and he will take it from there. If there's a red flag for anything, you're gonna need a waiver. And a waiver can be as little as a scar on your arm, on your eyes. They look for the littlest things. It can be allergy reactions, bump, the littlest things, guys. The littlest things. Trust me, because they look in depth. They go in depth to find something to disqualify you. So let me just put myself in a scenario. What if, let's say I grew up in California, and at the time when I was living in California, I got a scar on my eye. And this didn't happen, guys. It didn't happen. I'm just giving you a scenario. So living in California, I got a scar in my eye, and I moved to New York. But at the time when I got the scar in California, I did went to see my primary care doctor, and he did tell me that, okay, Mr. Benjamin, you're fine. It's not gonna stop you in the future from any job. You're not gonna go blind. You're gonna be okay. And my doctor put that in my file and write it down, and everything was good. So say I moved to New York now, and I'm living in New York, and I said, okay, then I want to start my military. I want to start the military process. I want to join the military. So with this scar, and I go to Meps, and one of the doctor would see the scar and say, oh, Mr. Benjamin, what is that scar? How did you get that scar? And I would say, growing up in California, I fell down and I got this scar, but I did went to my primary care doctor, and he said that it's not gonna hinder me from any work in the future. I'm fine, I'm good, I'm not gonna go blind or anything like that, guys, just so to speak. Then what the doctor at Meps will do is temporarily discharge you, not permanent, temporarily discharge you from Meps until you can get that information from your previous doctor from California and present to them at Meps to say, okay, then the doctor did actually say this, because they're not going to take your word for it. They want it in writing from the doctor. And then if you can provide them with that information from the doctor, then what they will do now is grant you the waiver to say, okay, then Mr. Benjamin is fit and he's ready to work. He's okay, he's fine. So that's what a waiver is, guys. So there's 2 primary visitation that you do at Meps, which are, 1, your ASVAB and general qualification visit, and the second one is when you leave for basic military training. So my first visit at Meps, so guys, if you live in a certain area, for me, I live in Westchester County, New York, what your recruiter will do is break down your ASVAB into 2 parts. So the first day will be when you go and take your ASVAB, and the second day will be when you go to take your medical and physical. Because what your recruiter doesn't want, he don't want you to be at Meps doing both medical, physical, and ASVAB in one day, and you're getting tired and stressed out and all of that, because it's gonna be a long and stressful day, and they don't want you to put that much pressure on yourself, because it is tiring and it's stressful. So for me, when I did the ASVAB pass and everything like that, we went into I think it was a little conference room at Meps. They were waiting on other people to put on the bus, and we would be on our way to the hotel. So when we get to the hotel, there was this conference room, and the hotel that I went to was in New Jersey. So it was pretty, it was good. It was a nice hotel. And when we got there, we went into this conference room, and they told us to take up this white, how would I describe it? A white piece of paper. But it was a good size piece of paper. It wasn't paper, but I don't know how to describe it, so we'll just say paper. And all of that had the rules on it, had where if you're a smoker, where you go to smoke, and pretty much just break down everything, what you should not do while staying at the hotel. So they give us the debrief and all of that, they gave us key card to our rooms. If you had your phone and you didn't brought your charger with you, they will supply you with a charger. But when you're coming back down in the morning, I think they give you like 5 hours use of it, or 3 hours, I'm not sure, but you would have to bring it back downstairs because you signed for it. And yeah, so at that time, they told us when dinner is gonna be served, when breakfast is gonna be served, that we're gonna get a wake-up call, and what time we should be downstairs, and all of that good stuff, what time we should be out of the hotel onto the bus going back to Meps. So guys, when you're at that hotel, please, if you socialize with people, if you can get to know all the individuals around you who is going, you're not gonna see back half of those people in your military career or your military journey. So I suggest you just socialize with people, get to know people, talk to them, see what they're all about, and just express yourself and talk about, because trust me, it's good to meet new people at times. You may never know what could happen in your military journey, you know what I mean? So, and they did have like video games there. They had pool, but because of COVID, we weren't allowed to use the pool at that time. The gym, we didn't allow to use the gym either. So we pretty much we talked a little bit in the downstairs, and when it was time, we went upstairs to our bed and stuff like that. And dinner was good. It was good. I had they made Parmesan chicken with fried potatoes, I believe it was, and sweet corn. Yeah, I think, yeah. So I'm not pretty much of a meat eater, so I had the vegetables along with orange juice. So their meal is quite fine. I didn't hear anybody complain about it or anything like that. So after we had our supper, we went upstairs, after the whole chat downstairs, meeting everyone and greeting and socializing, get to know people, which branch they're going, and to just learn about other branches. We went upstairs. I went to my room because at that time there was just one recruit in a room. So you're in this big room with 2 beds, you know what I mean? So pretty much you were just there, just waiting for because you're so excited. I was so excited I couldn't even sleep, to be honest, guys, because I just passed the ASVAB, and I just feel so happy. So I was hyped up. I was very happy, and I was just calling my family, telling them that hey, I'm at the hotel and stuff like that. So so in the morning, at around 3:15 or 3:30, that's when I heard the phone started going off, because that's the wake up call. And I got up so tired because I didn't sleep, because I was so overwhelmed and excited the night before. And so I got up, took a shower, all of that, got dressed, and bring one change of clothes when you're going to Meps. When you're at the hotel and then you're gonna go to Meps the other day after you completed the ASVAB. So you can bring one change of clothes. Please, guys, bring something that you're gonna be comfortable in, because you're gonna be at Meps for a long day. You're gonna be at Meps for a long time. It's gonna be a long day. So please, I'm begging you, wear comfortable clothing. For me, I did wear denim jeans with because at that time we were going into spring, but so it was still a little bit chilly. So I brought a sweater. So, and I had a black t-shirt underneath in case they told me to take off the sweater, which they did not. So, cause inside of Meps it's pretty much cold, guys. it's cold. So, and please wear proper underwear, both males and females, because you heard about Meps, and I'm gonna get to that part. So please wear comfortable clothing and proper underwear. And with that being said, when we went downstairs and breakfast was served, they had scrambled egg, they had sausages, and they had coffee, tea, and oranges, fruits, stuff like that. So I don't eat egg, I don't eat sausages. So I had no choice than to just take the roast potato and what was it again? And I got an orange. Yeah, an orange. So it's a big room, so you can go wherever you want to go and sit and eat. And after that, then they're gonna call you back again. After you finish eating, then they're gonna round up everybody, and they give you this color card, so they know who is going on which bus and stuff like that. So we load the bus, and we got to Meps, and the bus was pretty much comfortable. Yeah, it was comfortable. I have no complaint about the bus or the hotel. The staffs were excellent, and they did answer some questions, about stuff that you were unclear about regarding the hotel. So upon arriving at Meps, they checked us in and told us to go straight to the back of the building, and we're allowed to just grab our social or COVID forms. We should have that out, and we should also have other important documents that our recruiter provide us with. Guys, you're not allowed to wear chains, you're not allowed to wear smart watches. If the chains that you're allowed to wear is like a religious chain, and if you're married, you're allowed to wear your wedding band. Guys, please ensure to bring like a book or a magazine, because you are allowed one of those to take with you, in the building, because it's a long day. It is a long day. You can't have your phone in the building, so at least a book or a magazine, just to, to read to pass time, so you can, get relaxed and not be, tired and, stressed and all of that. So after we finished and put our things in the back and we came to the front, that's where they start separating us to start the medical process. So we had, for the medical, you have blood tests, you have vision, you have urine, and you have hearing. So for the urine, they test for drugs and alcohol, guys. For the hearing, in the hearing room, it's pretty much like probably 12 of you, 12 recruits are in that room. It's like a box shape kind of looking thing. So you guys, I think it's 10 to 12 people are allowed. in at a time. Yeah. And so it's like probably 5 on this side and 5 on this side, and you guys back are facing each other, not front but the back. You guys back are, you get what I mean. So, and then you have this earphone that they tell you to put over your ears, and then they're gonna tell you to take down. It's a controller with just one button, and it's a red button. So they're gonna tell you to click that button in the beginning to start the test. So when you click that button, it's basically gonna tell you that you're gonna hear someone speaking in the headphones, and they're saying, if this test has begun, if you heard me correctly, something like that, please go ahead and press the red button. So the moment you hear that, guys, you click that red button. Yo, I'm telling you, when I was in there, you have a lot of people who is like, I don't care, I'm just clicking. They're like clicking, and they and I'm pretty much sure, because when you just start, the sound is gonna be high, then it's gonna gradually, fade away. But you're gonna hear, because the headphone that you have on, it's like one of those compact headphones that you're not hearing anything around you. You're just hearing what's in your headphones. But I was looking left and right, and I was seeing people like clicking. So imagine if you're clicking and not hearing anything. The doctor is gonna come out and probably say, okay, Mr. Benjamin, I realize you were just clicking away. What's the reason for that? And we didn't start your tests yet. So guys, you don't want that. You don't want to be just clicking away like that. If you just listen, you're gonna hear. Listen. The moment you click it from the beginning, for the beginning of the test, you're gonna hear the sounds in your headphone. So just listen and click when you hear that sound. And they're gonna also check they're gonna also check your teeth, among other stuff. They're gonna check your weight and your height. They want to make sure that your weight and your height is balanced. If it's not, then what they'll do is check for body fat. So if your body fat still doesn't match with your weight and height and everything like that, because they will be lenient and say, okay, okay, let's check for body fat, because your weight and height doesn't match. You're pretty much like overweight for your height. So they say, okay, then let's just check for body fat. So what they'll do now is that they'll if your body fat still doesn't adds up with your weight and height, then they'll temporarily disqualify you, send a note over to your recruiter and say, hey, this recruit needs to lose some weight before we can process him any further, or process her any further. So it's not something you should cry over, guys, or get upset or feel bad. It's just that you're supposed to lose some weight, and then you'll be back where you started. So don't get upset, don't get depressed or anything like that. And you also have the depth perception and the color vision. Those two tests just basically qualify you for more jobs in the Air Force. Those two tests just qualify you for more jobs. Open up more jobs to you in the Air Force. So guys, after you finish your medical, the next step you're gonna move on to is this step. Nobody likes this step. Nobody likes the next step that I'm about to talk about. I didn't like it. I was pretty much uncomfortable. I know a lot of people who were at Meps at the time with me, and I know a lot of people who have been through this process felt so much uncomfortable. It's none other than the strip down. So, and it's just 2 scenes that you're gonna be in your underwear for, with a medical doctor and doing your physical. So it's just those 2 scenes. So you're gonna be provided with a medical doctor of same gender. If not, they're gonna ask a MEP staff to go with you. They're basically checking for, you know, making sure that everything is in good shape, making sure that you're healthy and good. And to be honest, guys, this checkup takes around 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not long. You know what I mean? It's not long, so you won't be in there with the doctor for 20 minutes unless you give the doctor more information than what you put on your paperwork. So it's best you just be quiet and let the doctor do their work, and you'll be out of there within 5 to 10 minutes. And the second one that you're gonna be in your underwear is the physical. So when you're in a room with around 10 to 15 recruits, this is when you're gonna be in a room with 10 to 15 recruits, and you're doing random exercise. You're gonna be doing, like, they basically want to check want to make sure your mobility is in good contact. You know what I mean? They want to see if you can walk on your toes without stumbling. They want to see if you can duck walk, but again, balance on your toe, walk on your toes. I mentioned that. You know, just stuff like that, guys. It's nothing hard. It wasn't hard for me. If you know that your Meps is coming up, like probably a month from now, just stay home, practice. You know, practice the duck walk, practice walking on your toes, practice balancing on your toes, lifting up one foot to see how you balance. You know, and meanwhile you're in this room doing these tests, there's doctors walking around checking everyone, so you can't escape it. So guys, to be on the safe side, if you know that your Meps is coming up, just start practicing walking on your toes, walking on, you know, balancing and stuff like that. You'll be fine, because it was easy for me. It wasn't hard. It was easy because I practiced before I went, so practice becomes perfect. And after all of this, you get to put your clothes back on. I passed everything in my physical, guys. I passed my whole medical, thanks be to God. I didn't have to get a waiver for anything. All my bones were in the right place, and you know, so I thank God for that. I didn't have to get a waiver, and yeah, I pretty much overcome the worst, so to speak, because the worst is yet to come, right? A lot of people say BMT is very hard, so I mean, this is just one step further to my dream. So I got it over with, and I'm looking forward to going to BMT. So please, guys, practice. So after you finish your physical, you're gonna break for lunch. Lunch is served downstairs. If you don't eat meat like myself, they do provide vegetarian meals. I'm not sure about vegan, but I think they might. Probably they don't. I'm not sure. So when I grabbed my sandwich, I take a quick bite and went straight back to the testing area, because if you're going Air Force, guys, you're required to take a tapas test. It's a survey. I know that some of the jobs that some recruits are going, you're required to take a test they call D-Lab. I didn't take it because I didn't pick any of those jobs. But I think everyone who is going Air Force is required to do the tapas, I think. So after I got that quick bite and run back to the testing area, I asked one of the staff if I could come in and get my tapas over with, and they said sure. So I went in, and they put the code in the computer, brought up the tapas, and I just knocked it out, guys. I do it quick and fast to get out of there, because I wanted out of Meps. It was like draining me. It was a long day, so so when I finished that, I went back upstairs to the Air Force office, and then you have one more test that the Air Force gives, which is the strength assessment test, and that pretty much opens you up for more jobs. And you're gonna be lifting 70 pounds over your head, and you don't wanna go to Meps, guys, and fail anything. So just stay home, practice, and you'll be fine, because the more you practice and you're seeing these videos, and people like myself are telling you what to expect when you go to Meps, you only can just practice and become perfect. You can't watch these videos and then go to Mep and say, oh shoot, Mr. Benjamin said, I forgot what other people make videos about, and they basically tell me how to prepare myself, and I still come and fail. There's no way you should be going there and fail. So guys, please just stay home, practice, and you'll be fine when you go to Meps. So guys, when you make your dream list with the counselor, you can always go back to your recruiter's office and change that list, as long as the counselor haven't submitted, which I don't think, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they can submit it from Meps. I think your recruiter has to do that from his end, because if you state that you want to change it, you can just go to your recruiter's office and change whatever jobs that you put down there, because you probably think that you were holding up the line for other recruits. You think that you were being pressured by a staff member at Meps to hurry and pick your job, or because you wanted to rush out of Meps because you had a long day. Please guys, put down all jobs that you're putting down. Make sure it's jobs that you're gonna be comfortable doing for the rest of your military life. So if it's 10 jobs that you're putting down, make sure all 10 jobs is what you're comfortable doing. Don't just put down, okay, I'm putting this because I want to fill the spot or fill gaps or whatever. No, put down all jobs that you're going to be comfortable doing. So as I said earlier, you can always go back to your recruiter's office and change that list, but the moment he submitted, you cannot change it again. That's it. All right guys, so be aware of that. And another thing what you're going to be doing at Meps also is the pre-enlistment interview. That's when they take your fingerprint. Yes guys, your fingerprint, and lock you in the system, so you know that you're in. They also inform you of the uniform code of the military justice and their expectation of you saying you're going to enlist. After all that, this is when you do your enlistment oath. You do this twice. The next one you will do when you're shipping out. So you did your first oath at Meps, guys. You basically swore into the United States Air Force Delayed Entry Program, which I'm in right now. And I'm just waiting for one of my jobs to be available, and I'll be off to BMT. Please hit the subscribe button, guys. Like, share, hit the notification bell. That's my experience from Meps. I thank you all for watching. Peace, stay blessed, love you all.